Hey, Jim Zaspel here, and got an interesting video here for you today. And this is the question I get a lot, and that is, how do you know how much work is worth doing on a project, especially in terms of an addition, adding an addition on, or finishing a basement, finishing the attic, the third floor, something like that, or in the case of the row house a lot in the city, you're adding a third floor. So I'm actually on my way to a property we're doing right now on the 800 block of South Mole Street in Philadelphia. It's a Graduate Hospital section of Philadelphia. Pretty sweet neighborhood, and pretty excited for this deal, and got a great contractor going on it. But anyway, the question is, we're adding a third story to this house, and how do you know it's worthwhile doing it? And so it's actually a pretty simple process that we go through to decide how much construction to do, and you'll hear a very similar answer from me a lot of times. That is, it completely depends on the comparable sales. So you gotta do, it's a cost-benefit analysis, right? So how much is it gonna cost you to add a third story on? About 35 grand. How much to add a roof deck on top of that? About $18,000. So is it worth adding the third story? Well, it depends on how many square feet it's gonna get you, and then compare that square footage with that of your comps, right? And if you're gonna get, at least 45 or 50 grand out of that extra square footage is going to cost you 35 grand to put on. Well, to me, it's worth the brain damage and the pain in the butt factor to spend the 35 grand. Get the we did not need a variance for this one to add the third story on. Another thing before you do that is to check your zoning before you go planning on what we call popping a top on these houses. That is, taking off the roof, the second story in the row house, and building a third story and putting a roof on top of that. Before you go doing that, sorry, I gotta check my GPS a second here. All right, I'm gonna turn 21st Street. Before you go doing that, you want to check your zoning and see what the rules are for that zoning. And like the case is here on Mole Street, we actually have to have an 8-foot setback. So if this is the front of the house, we have an 8-foot flat roof with then the front of the third floor starting 8 feet back from the face of the second floor. So that obviously reduces the square footage 8 feet by however wide the house is, which is like 14 feet in this case. So anyway, it may or might be worth it. And then you got to consider, if you need a variance in order to add the third story, you don't want to buy the property based on the value you're going to get adding the third story without, or doing the addition, whatever the case may be, if you're in the suburbs, without first knowing if you're allowed to, right? So if you're not sure if you're allowed to, but you want to buy it and bear the cost of holding the property while you go through the variance process and try to pull the permits, that kind of stuff, that's fine. But the numbers on the deal need to work as if you were only going to be able to do the deal in its as-is condition, as-is size. Okay, that is if you're needing a variance. So make sure you know what you're getting into before you get into it. And you don't think of it as, oh, I have to add a third floor on. Look at it as an opportunity. Every time you look at a 2-story row house, every time you look at a small house, always ask yourself, how can I add more value to this house, right? We just did a house, we sell it on Monday, and I'm making $80,000 in this deal, and it's a sweet, this coming Monday we're selling it. It's a sweet deal, just one block from where I live, and the square footage on it was 3,000 square feet. And then one day we were almost on the project, and it dawned on me, I was like, man, I swear this place is bigger than 3,000 square feet. So it's a 3-story building, and a single-family house. So I just stepped off. I actually took my measurement wheel, measured the length times width, and the first 2 floors were the exact same footprint. I'm like, it's 3,000 square feet, roughly, just on the first 2 floors. So then we get to measuring all the rooms, measure the rooms on the third floor. It turns out it was like almost 3,700 square feet. And because we finished the third floor. So it's a great way to add value, finishing unfinished space, doing an addition if needed, but make sure you know you're going to get money out of it. Rarely do you get your money out of finishing a basement. My rule of thumb is I don't even think to finish a basement unless it is the house itself above grade is less than 1,200 square feet. So anyway, look for opportunities when you're analyzing deals. How can you add value? How can you increase the square footage? Add value by increasing the square footage, and you'll find that a lot of times, in order to be competitive in today's market, you've got to be willing to do a little bit more work than maybe your so-called competitors are. All right, it's pretty fun sometimes. I hear my investor friends tell me, it's like, gosh, man, you're crazy. Your construction costs are so high. You're doing these big deals, whatever. Why are you doing that? Meanwhile, they're starving to get deals, and we're doing 30, 35 rehabs at a time. So look for opportunity. It is there. First, accept the fact that it's there, and then just go to work getting to find it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got some value from it. And then do me a favor. If you did get value from this, then share it around. Put it up on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is that you do on the social media world, and share it around. Hopefully, you can help some more folks out. Thanks so much for your time. As always, you can catch me on jimzaspel.com, jimzaspel.com. My blog, lots of free content on there you'll love. All right, see you soon.